Yo, what's going on? Chavo Guerrero Jr. here, giving a big shout out to Wrestling Rehab. Keep watching, keep listening, and viva la raza.
Órale.
All right, super long intro there with the music, and that was because I was eating a slice of pizza. That's why. Um, and it wasn't even really that good. I mean, I've never tasted like bad pizza where I'm like, this is nasty. I'm not gonna eat this at all. But I've tasted pizza that's better than other pizzas, and this one, it was decent. It's just I guess I'll put it in the bad pizza department because was it was it worth eating junk food health wise for that taste? No, it wasn't. So even though like I said, no pizza is bad pizza, at least in my experience. But then when you figure that it's not good for you, it's like, well, was it really worth it? Because if it wasn't that good, then good gosh, man, you're just putting your insides through all that damage. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's get into a few things here before Monday Night Raw kicks off tonight. By the way, Monday Night Raw tonight is supposed to be stacked, jam packed. I've been seeing it. I've been seeing it all day long. Oh man, all under the same roof. Brock Lesnar, Oba Femi, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, all under the same roof. We'll get to that. First, I want to get to Randy Orton, right? The Viper, RKO. It's, what happened on SmackDown. Um, I'm not really sure who even gives a rat's ass about Matt Cadorba. Woo, woo, woo. You guys remember that? Who the heck cares about that? Who the heck cares about Zack Ryder? I know he's not going by Zack Ryder anymore. I don't care. I think he actually had more of a following when he was Zack Ryder. Woo, woo, woo. But he, has this, he has this run in with Randy Orton in the back. He's telling him how disgusted he is with Randy Orton for what he did. Randy Orton's like, man, I'm sorry, man. After getting just a little physical, nothing major. We saw two Randy Orton segments, not one, but two. And in that second one, he gets out there, and then Zack Ryder comes down to the ring before Randy Orton even has a chance to say anything. Now, it would have been cool if we would have heard the woo, woo, woo. That would have been pretty entertaining compared to what we actually got. Now, I'm sure some of you guys liked it. I thought it was just kind of like predictable. There was really nothing there for me to be like, oh, wow. When Randy Orton turned on Cody Rhodes, I thought to myself, that's when I was kind of like, oh, okay, wow. Yeah, I didn't really see that coming. Some people probably did. I don't want to say that I was completely caught off guard, but I was like, okay. However, what happened on SmackDown this past Friday night, that was 1,000% predictable. Zack Ryder goes in there, woo woo woo, And Randy Orton is like overly apologizing, like profusely, right? Like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Would you accept my apology? I'm sorry. Like, I just who is buying this? I'm watching it and I'm like, this is weak. This is dumb. Like, we're all supposed to know who Randy Orton is, except for him, except for Matt. We all know what's coming. We all know who the Viper is. Everybody knows what's coming except for him. For decades, just watching and seeing who Randy Orton is, we all know what's up his sleeve. Now, what I didn't think was that happened, the kick to the nuts. That I was like, okay, all right, we went a different direction. But I'm like, okay, well, look, they're trying to build him as a heel. I thought he was just gonna land an RKO. And I'm like, oh, it's coming. But when you got Randy Orton telling somebody, I'm sorry, man, can you forgive me? I'm sorry. Just know that an RKO is waiting for you. Now the kick to the balls, yeah, okay, that one I didn't see coming, but he hit him in the nuts first, kicked him in the balls. After the handshake and the hug, and all right, man, kick him in the balls, lands an RKO, and proceeds to attack him. Really trying to turn him into a heel. One of the major problems I'm hearing about this is that he's not turning heel. Not that he's not choosing to turn heel, but that the fans aren't turning on him. Now, doing that on Cody is one thing. You know, you might get some kids sympathy. You might get some lady sympathy. You know, the guys in their 20s or something, maybe 30s or whatever. You're probably not gonna get their sympathy. But at least with Cody Rhodes, you get some sympathy. Doing it to Zack Ryder, who gives a flying flip what you do to that guy? No, nobody cared. Nobody cared. That was the one bad thing I kept hearing all weekend long was that people were chanting, people were cheering for Randy Orton because you cannot turn heel. You can't turn Randy Orton heel because he went completely berserk on Zack Ryder. Woo woo woo. Nobody gives a rat's ass about that dude. If you're gonna sacrifice someone, that's the guy you're gonna sacrifice. Now, if you were to do it to somebody like R-Truth, okay, and we're gonna get to R-Truth in just a second, then I'd be like, okay, because people loves R-Truth. But you do it to Matt Ryder, Zack Ryder. I combined his names there. Matt Ryder. That's what I should start calling him now. Matt Ryder. Nobody gives a damn about that dude. Everyone was like, one more time, one more time, one more time. How the heck do you expect to turn Randy Orton heel? How do you expect for him to get heat from the WWE Universe by putting hands on, again, I'm combining his names, Matt Ryder, woo woo woo, a guy that nobody cares about. More people cared about the Brooklyn Brawler than they do about this douchebag. So you know, it didn't work. It didn't work. You need Randy to really pulverize a loving figure. And this guy just wasn't it. This guy wasn't it. It wasn't it. Okay, it wasn't it. Fast forward. Oh, I'm sorry. Something else that happened on Monday Night Raw. I'll leave Randy Orton there. Look, Randy Orton's not doing anything wrong. I'm just saying the guy that they chose because they're trying to turn him 100% heel, right? Obviously, going nuts on Cody Rhodes. Okay, that's a step in the right direction, sure. And then the following week, you're gonna have him going nuts on Mr. Woo Woo Woo, somebody that nobody cares about. People that completely forget that he's even on the roster. Nobody cares about this guy. How the heck you got to get somebody that people love? But enough of that. All right, we got new tag team champions, and that's what I put on the thumbnail. Now, why did I put that on the thumbnail? Wasn't there something else I could have put on the thumbnail that was much better? Yes, I could have. But here's the thing. This year in the WWE Hall of Fame, you have Axe and Smash getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. Amen to that. Demolition going into the Hall of Fame. And rightfully so. Here is the issue that I've been having for years now. I love tag team wrestling. Tag team wrestling was actually my favorite many years ago, once upon a time. Oh, I'm talking about, the days of the Demolition and the Heart Foundation and the Rockers and Powers of Pain. Just so many, man. Oriental Express, British Bulldogs. Just so many, so many. Even some that came out a little bit later. Like the Head Shrinkers and the Thrashers and all those guys. Natural Disaster, APA. Gosh, man, just some great, great tag teams. No, it was IRS and Million Dollar Man, Ted DiBiase, which we're gonna get to Ted DiBiase in a second. In Money Incorporated. Gosh, I used to hate those dudes. But here's the problem. Here's what I'm getting to. Is that tag team wrestling used to be actual tag teams. Now you have, I don't know what, maybe 3 legitimate tag teams. The Usos are back together. I guess you could still count the New Day, Xavier and Kofi Kingston, even though we don't really see much of them. Who else? I don't know. The War Raiders were an actual tag team. But it's like you just get all these singles competitors, put them together, and hey, they're going for the tag team title. It's like that is stupid. Let's try to make them a tag team. Well, here's what we're gonna do, man. I'm gonna come out first to the beginning of my music, and then after like the first 10 seconds, while I'm still on stage, then your music hits, and then you come out. And then we'll both flex while we're on stage and we'll walk down together. We don't really have an actual tag team name, right? Like Axe and Smash, who are going into the Hall of Fame, their name was Demolition. We'll just be called for our, just, by our individual name. Like, man, tag team wrestling was my favorite. Oh, it was my favorite. And I used to remember, you know, back in those days, being tag team champions was huge because you were the champion of your division. You were an actual tag team. The tag team division, not just today, but in many years now, like, good gosh, dog, it is falling super flat. I forget who's the tag team champs. If we actually have a tag team division where we actually have tag teams, not two single competitors that you just put together and say, all right, you guys are matching up, you guys are going to go after the tag team titles. No, damn all that. You guys are an actual tag team. Whether you're champions or not, you guys are always a tag team. I'm thinking they need to do something with the tag team division. I'm not sure, man. They gotta do something because it's just weak. So you have Damian Priest teaming up with Ron Killings, R Truth, and they become tag team champs over Solo Sokoa's little minions. Which there's friction between them now because the Wyatt Six got involved in that match. And does anybody give a damn about that rivalry? Because I don't. I don't. But oh well, the Wyatt Six has fallen super duper flat. I don't give a damn about the Wyatt Six. Solo Sokoa and all his punk ass little minions. I couldn't care any less. They need to do something different with these guys for me to care. I mean, Jacob Fatu was part of the group, and look at him. He broke free. And now this guy's doing something. He's making some moves. But all these other guys, I don't even really care. And in all reality, I think Solo Sikoa's, I think his stardom has kind of taken a hit as well, being part of this faction. I mean, I get it. He's the leader of it, but I don't see anybody caring about it. But back to the tag team division. So it's like, okay, so now you got Damian Priest and R Truth. Now they're tag team champs. Okay. They're not an actual tag team. But I guess it's gonna be somewhat fun because people love R Truth. And look, for as old as he is, the guy can still throw down. Damian Priest looked pretty damn happy, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. It looked like he was really having a good time and that he really enjoys being in a tag team and tag team champs with R Truth. But just the tag team division as a whole is just good gosh, man. We need actual tag teams. But look, hopefully something fun happens out of this. A lot of hate for a Monday, yes, sir. What's up, that's Benny? No, man, it's a little frustrating. It's a little frustrating. But you know what? Speaking about Monday, let's go ahead and let's get to it. All right. So tonight on Monday Night Raw, we got a lot going down on Monday Night Raw. So Becky Lynch is addressing her actions, which look, once AJ Lee beat Bailey straight up after Bailey went through the gauntlet match to get her shot, AJ Lee beats her just straight up. This kind of threw a bucket of cold ice on that fire. And by the way, she needs to address her actions. Do we not know what we're going to hear from Becky Lynch already? What is she going to address? I'm looking at it right now. I'm reading it. It says Becky Lynch will address her actions. tonight. What actions? Haven't we seen this already? So she went nuts on AJ Lee. Yeah, she's done that before. What actions? Well, we're expecting an apology or something. There's got to be something, some gimmick match for Becky and AJ at WrestleMania. It can't be just a straight up match. We also have the Kabuki Warriors versus Bailey and Lyra Valkyria. Okay. I mean, and the women, like I said, tag teams. God, I used to love tag teams. I did, man. I used to love tag team. Demolition, Heart Foundation, British Bulldogs. I used to Oriental Express, the Rockers. I used to love tag teams. But man, goodness, man. All right, Jovan Aaron's versus Grayson Waller. Um, should be a fun match. It should be a fun match. Looks like Kofi Kingston's going to be in the corner of Grayson Waller, which will make it entertaining. Because if this were if it was just one on one, just Javon Evans, who's still trying to get over. Looks like people are loving him, and he's a fun kid to watch. But against Grayson Waller, it's just kind of like, all right. But you put Kofi Kingston in the corner of Grayson Waller, then it's like, okay, something's gonna happen, right? You got the Usos, who's probably one of the last remaining tag teams, actual real tag teams, right? Even though Jay went off on his own for a while and accomplished a lot, they're back together. They're going up against the Vision, which is Logan Paul and Austin Theory. Now, originally, this was supposed to be for the tag team titles. However, word is that it is not for the tag team titles anymore. So they're just gonna face them each other. For what? I don't know. Penta versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah, well, anytime these two guys get in the ring, it's always good. It's always fun. It's always fun. However, at some point, one of these guys is going to have to move on. One of these guys is going to have to move on. They're going to have to kill this at some point. Brock Lesnar is scheduled to be on Monday Night Raw tonight. And that's the thing, is that's the meat on the bone for Monday Night Raw tonight. And that is that you have Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi under the same roof. Should they come face to face? I don't know. I kind of want these guys after what happened last week, which was kind of like a holy smokes moment, right? I kind of want these guys to somewhat stay away from each other. And if they do get in the ring and they do meet face to face, nose to nose, keep them apart. Don't let them put hands on one another. Now, Brock Lesnar has Paul Heyman to talk for him. Oba Femi, he's not that bad on the mic, but he's not that good either. So it's going to be a little interesting how they build this up. Maybe they do have these guys just attack one another. Maybe this time, as a matter of fact, I'm going to predict this. I'm going to predict that this time around, because Oba Femi got one over on Brock Lesnar last week, I'm going to say that Brock Lesnar gets one over on Oba Femi this week. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to keep on trading. They're going to keep on trading. Oba Femi is not going to see it coming, and pow, F5 from Brock Lesnar. That's what I'm predicting. They got to build this match. These two, these two mega powers here. Shout out to the Macho Man and the immortal Hulk Hogan, mega powers. But these two mega powers here. Because if Boba Fett did what he did to Brock Lesnar last week, and Brock Lesnar doesn't respond, something wrong there. And then I'm gonna predict that the following week, and so on and so forth. They're just gonna keep on going back and forth. But I'm not expecting. Here's what I'll say before I move on. I'm not expecting them to go completely nuts. It's not like gonna be like Randy Orton going crazy on Cody Rhodes, right? Making him bleed and all that. I'm expecting just one move each. Obafemi got Brock Lesnar with one move last week. This week, Brock Lesnar, one move, F5. That's it. All right, CM Punk and Roman Reigns will both be in. I was in Boston tonight. Okay. All right, so CM Punk and your tribal chief, both under the same roof again. Now, last week was the most physical we've seen these two guys get with each other. And I've been saying it over and over and over again. Stop letting these guys get physical with each other. This match, I think, in my opinion, builds up more if they don't start punching each other. Just let them stand there, size each other up, talk their smack. But once they start getting physical with each other, I think it actually starts taking away from the main event at WrestleMania. Just have them stand there, cut their promo, size each other up. But that's it. I don't want to see one guy push the other guy. I don't want to see one guy put a hand on the other guy. Nothing. They've already passed that, unfortunately. But I'm thinking they're going to get really physical with each other tonight because of what happened last week. But anyway, Monday Night Raw is starting up. So I'm going to go ahead and check it out. So I'll leave you guys there. And let's see what happens. Because we are getting closer and closer and closer to WrestleMania, baby. All right, I'll see you guys on the next one.
And I hope that one time